Okay, hello everyone to this a bit different video. If you've seen the video that went online simultaneously with this one, then you know what this is about. This is going to be I'm here on the Mal page with all the future, with all the series that'll come out next season, and I'm gonna go through this and I'm gonna tell you which ones I'm going to watch and especially why I'm going to watch them or don't watch them. Like in order to give you an example of what I feel like other people should do when they are like watching anime and when they try to branch out to new genres. Like, there are reasons to not watch a series, and there are reasons why you should watch something even if it doesn't sound that interesting, because they can make it really interesting depending on what. But I'm gonna give my opinion on this new season anyways. And yeah, again, I already said this in the other video. If anyone listening to this wants like to talk with me on this channel, in the video with me, and like so that we have someone to argue with and like to share opinions, then send me a message somewhere and we can maybe try to find a time to record this session together, because that'd be really fun, I believe. But yeah, enough rambling. Let's just go through all of this. There's a lot of shows to get through and a lot of opinions to say. So yeah, I will only read these descriptions if I think that they're necessary to the like to my reasoning of why I think this series deserves my attention, or if it doesn't deserve my attention. All right, with that out of the way, let's begin. First up is the third season of My Hero Academia. It doesn't even say what it's about, it's just the third season. That's good. And I won't watch it because I am reading the manga. Because when I watch anime, I time is the thing that I have the least of, always. And so I try to, when I know a series is good, for example with My Hero Academia, I know that the manga is good because I'm reading it. But so and I know that the adaptation is just as good, if not even better, just as good at the very least. So I know that I'm not missing anything, and I also know that they aren't like doing such a bad job that it's like interesting to see how bad they do it, because they're just doing a great job. But it's just the same story again that I already read in the manga, so I'm not gonna watch it again. That's basically the only reason. I will maybe watch one or two fights that have already happened in the manga where I'm like, oh yeah, I want to see that fight in motion. But in general, I'm not gonna watch things that I've already read. Yeah. Steins Gate Zero, I will watch because I have seen the original Steins Gate, and this is basically like a semi-sequel alternate story to that. Which, yeah, I think everyone's excited for this one. I'm mildly, no, not mildly, what's the word, moderately excited for this. Well, we'll just see what comes out of this. But yeah, I will definitely watch this one, probably completely, because I mean the original Steins Gate is a masterpiece. It's not one of my favorites, but it is a masterpiece. And yeah, definitely will watch this one. But yeah, that's, I think everyone was knew that. And with Tokyo Ghoul Re, which I won't watch. You can see, you can somehow you can already see, like, because I've already added them to my plan to watch list, and if you see some that I haven't added yet, it's highly likely that I won't watch them. But anyway, Tokyo Ghoul Re, because I have read the original Tokyo Ghoul manga, and I plan to do the same thing with Re, but only after I've reread the manga of the original Tokyo Ghoul again, because it's been so long since I've read it. The reason why I'm reading the manga for this one, I'm not watching the anime, is mostly the second season, because that like went into a total different direction and made no sense. So I decided to go with the manga on this one. And I want to do the same thing with Re, because I just feel like the continuity is a little bit like out of order due to the things that happened in the second season. And yeah, so I'm not gonna watch this. I'm gonna read it in one go sometime. I don't know when, but sometime I'm gonna read it all in one go, and then I'm done with this series. So yeah, not gonna watch it. Next, Shokugeki no Soma, third season, second core. Same problem that I have with My Hero Academia, well, not problem, but situation. I'm reading the manga of this, so I already know everything that's gonna happen. I also know that the adaptation is great because I started with the anime and then I switched to the manga, so I know the adaptation is great, but it would just be the same thing I've already read, so I'm not gonna watch it. Same thing. Sword Art Online alternative. As much as everyone bashes on Sword Art Online, me included, you just can't help but be excited for the new season, even if it's gonna be shit. Maybe because it might be shit. But yeah, it's not by A1 Pictures, so who knows? But yeah, I am gonna watch this one because hey, it's a new story, new characters. It might be good. You never know. It probably won't, but hey, if it isn't, we've got something to laugh at. So, yeah, we'll see. High School DxD, I will not watch very easily because I haven't seen the other seasons. That's the easiest reason you can have to not watch a series that's coming out because you haven't seen the other seasons, and that of course is a valid reason. I use that reason and everyone else can use it. This is the fourth season. I haven't seen the other three seasons, so I won't watch this one. Pretty self-explanatory. Persona 5, I have played the game, but I haven't completed it yet, and I feel like with game adaptations, completing the game is a much better experience than watching these adaptations. At least if it's like a game like Persona, because it has like such because the whole game isn't only built around the story but around the gameplay with like the planning. All right, you have a limited amount of time. What do? Do you go into the dungeon, or do you train, or do you strengthen like your relationships with other people around you? And I feel like that's a lot stronger in the games and not like in the adaptation, because in the adaptation everything is like on a set course and there's not that much urgency. So I rather play through this sometime, like finish playing through it rather, instead of watching it. So that's why I won't watch it. Not because I'm like against the idea of like the series or against like the genre that it represents, like action, fantasy, supernatural. That's fine by me, but just because I rather experience the story in game format, because that's the way the story was intended to be told. That's basically it. So not gonna watch it. Next up, Wotaku Nikoyo Muzukashi. This one, I think now we can get into like the series where it's warranted to read the synopsis. So let's read it. After discovering that they work at the same company, a gaming crazed otaku and a fujoshi reunite for the first time since middle school. After some post-work drinking sessions, they begin dating, but will it be the perfect relationship for the two? So this one I am watching because it sounds like it might be really funny, or it might be really dumb and cringeworthy. That, of course, I cannot tell, and the genres obviously don't tell me more. It's just that comedy and romance, and that's pretty obvious from the title and from the synopsis that that's going to be the genres. But this is the thing. This doesn't tell me really a lot, and the genres don't tell me a lot either. Neither does the picture. But I'm not against the core idea. No, there's no like reason for me not to give it at least one episode, which is what I give most shows, one episode. And after that, I mostly know, okay, this can hold my attention or it can't. And I usually don't look like any further. I usually ignore which studio made it. Um, Usually. Or like even if it's by a studio I don't like, for example A1 Pictures, because they've made a lot of crap, I'm still going to watch this new series and like be optimistic or at least indifferent in the beginning. I'm going to be at least indifferent about it, because like the synopsis and the genres aren't something that like turn me away immediately. I mean, because it could be really funny or it could be really cringeworthy, and we don't know yet. So there's no reason for me not to at least put it on my plan to watch, which many people wouldn't even do. I mean, if you like compare, like the most anticipated series has 130,000 people like on their list, probably plan to watch in this case, and now we're only at like 24,000. Like, how much is that's a fifth, almost a fifth of that, around about a fifth, yeah. And it's going to become even less down the line because it's sorted by popularity. And yeah, I really don't understand that, because everyone keeps saying like, oh, there's nothing to watch, there's nothing to watch. Well, yeah, if you only watch like 3 shows, look, these 3 shows are above and around 100,000 people, and now here we are already around 60. This is below 50, and now we're at 30. So I that's what I think is like, people are the people themselves, it's their own fault if they aren't gonna watch anything else in like the top maybe 6 or 7 series, and or maybe even only the top 3. And I mean, this is a sequel, this is a sequel, this is a sequel, this is a sequel, this is a sequel. Like, people will only have one series to watch if they aren't willing like to branch out of the popular like opinion. So that's what I think is sad, and which people should like go more, try more like to break out of like their normal yeah, like their normal thing. But yeah, that's with this series. Just went off on a tangent there. So yeah, I'm gonna watch this. Maybe it's good, maybe it's not. Next up, Full Metal Panic and Victory is, I don't know, either it's a sequel or a spin-off, I don't know, but I haven't seen nothing of Full Metal Panic yet, so I'm not gonna watch this one either. Devil's Line, let's read the synopsis. Anzai, half vampire, and Tsukasa, a normal schoolgirl. Vampires seem to be living among humans. Of course, the government does not know of their existence because their appearance does not differ from humans. They also do not need to drink blood, but when they get a craving or get angry, they can become uncontrollable monsters. So, this is the same problem with the other series. This doesn't tell you anything. Neither do the genres. I personally think genres are a pretty like non important when it comes to determining if you're gonna like a series or not, because everything can be interesting no matter what genre it's in. So yeah, this one, like I said, the synopsis, it doesn't tell you anything. It only tells you it's about vampires. It doesn't tell you anything else. And like, there's someone called Anzai and someone called Tsukasa, and that's basically it. So you have no idea what the series is basically about unless you've read the manga, which I haven't, because then I wouldn't watch the series. Because I only watch things once, or like consume things once. But I have no idea what the series is about, because this one doesn't tell me anything. So I have no expectations. So I will watch it with no expectations and might be surprised. That happens basically every season for me, because I never like, I'm not only hyped for like these series, but my most hyped series are further down the line, and we'll get to those. But yeah, I'm gonna watch this one because there's just no information, and no information, I think, is the best information you can have for a series. The only information I want out of these like things is it's a series that exists and that doesn't sound like something I would hate 100%. If I have at least 1% chance, okay, this might be something for me, then I watch it. For example, this season with what was it called? Darling in the Franxx. I hate mecha. I hate the mecha genre because I think it's boring. I still watch this series because it's interesting and because I thought, well, it might be mecha, but there might still be something for me to enjoy because the mecha aren't the focus. For example, on the other side, if there were a new Gundam series, I wouldn't watch it because I know for a fact, because I've tried it already, that I don't like the mecha genre and I find it boring. That is another reason why, yeah, someone wouldn't watch a show. But pretty sure we will get to that later. So, next up. Ginga Eo Densetsu Die Neue These, Kaiko, is the re-adaptation of the famous classic Legend of the Galactic Heroes. I am really excited, but also worried because a few days ago I've just finished the original series, and it's definitely unique. You won't find anything other than that. It's like a giant history book, but it's really fun and really interesting. And yeah, it's really difficult to explain what's so great about the original series, but it is a great series, and I am excited for a remake, but I'm also very worried because I can't imagine how you could do it better. So if they at least manage to do it just as well and maybe like update the animation, because that's, I have to say, the animation of the original during like the conversations is pretty lacking. Like they only move the mouths, and sometimes not even that. They have just like someone is speaking that's not on camera, for example. And like, yeah, they had to save a budget a lot in the original series. So if they can up the animation quality in this one, that's basically all the series need, just like a fresh coat of paint, but keep everything else the same. So yeah, if they can manage to do that, then we've got nothing to worry about, and we'll have like a new a modern classic on our hands, a new retelling of a classic. But yeah, we're going to see. So I'm gonna watch this mostly because I want to compare it with the original, not because this is something that I have nothing against. Like I said already, that I don't watch anime of manga I've already read, but I do watch remakes of series I've already seen because I want to see how they did it. And if I see, okay, this is the same thing that the original is, then I'm not going to continue because I'm like, okay, they did it all right. I got nothing else to see here. Then I'm going to drop it. So, yeah. This one, I'm going to watch. We'll see. Sarero Tsumibito wa Ryu to Odoru. Let's read the synopsis because I have no idea what this is. The series takes place in an alternate world, staged mostly in the city of Eridana, whose territory is half in the Tsiberun Dragon Empire and half in the Lapidores Seven Cities Alliance. Each half is separated by the Aurelial River. In this world, special abilities called spell formulas, Jushki, exist, which are essentially chemical reactions augmented through special weapons that cause a magic spell-like effect. These special weapons are called magic staff weapons and are as varied as regular weapons are. Spell formulists use these spell formulas to fight with beasts of abhorrent form, natural creatures that use spell formulas and pose a threat to humans, such as dragons, aeons, or enormes. The story focuses on the two main characters, Gaius Sorrel and Gina Ashley Bush, the only two employees of a spell formulist dispatched office, Alice Bushley and Sorrel Corporation. They are met with a variety of requests from a variety of clients, all requiring the adept use of spell formulas. So, that's a long as synopsis, and this at least tells us a little bit more, but it doesn't tell us enough. Like, for example, I don't know what the characters are about. I have no idea how the story is gonna play out, if it's gonna like be directed well. That's what I mean when I'm saying I have no idea if it's gonna be good or not. Because you don't know how the series is gonna look. That's just how it is. That's why, because this series does not like offend me or like go against things that I stand for, I'm going to watch one episode at least, and then I'm going to make my decision. And that's going to be the main reasoning for all of these series. Because like it might be interesting, it might be total crap. We don't know. And it's just like I'm just always looking for new things. Especially in this like vast ocean, because the reason why I watch seasonal anime isn't really because I'm looking for new things to watch, but mostly because I want to find the best things that no one tells me about. Because if I had to look back on the previous seasons, I probably wouldn't watch as much, because then I would fall behind on the current season. So I'm just going to watch everything now so I don't have to go back. And this series might probably fall into that category as well. We'll see. Alright, next up, Golden Kamui, I already heard about the series, that it was a fantastic and popular manga. And I think it could definitely be a secret like hit next season. Let's read the synopsis first. In Hokkaido, the far northern lands of Japan, Sugimoto survived the Russo-Japanese War of the Meiji era. Nicknamed Sugimoto the Immortal during the war, he now seeks the riches promised by the gold rush in hopes of saving the widowed wife of his now deceased comrade from the war. During his hunt for gold, he finds hints of a hidden stash of gold by corrupt criminals. Partnering with an Ainu girl that saves his life from the harsh climates of the north, they venture into a survival adventure to race against the criminals that seek the hidden stash. So, this definitely sounds different than other series this season. I mean, of course, it sounds different. I mean, these two, for example, are completely different. But yeah, I think that's an interesting concept, and it might definitely be interesting. And also, it's definitely not uninteresting. That's the main thing. If it's not uninteresting, then I will watch it. That's basically every series. So, yeah. I'm gonna speed up a little bit now because there are some series I want to get to, and look, we've only scratched the surface. Tadakun wa koyo shinai. In the story, Mitsuyoshi Tada, a boy who has never known love, is taking pictures of the cherry blossoms in full bloom when he meets Teresa Wagner, a transfer student from Luxembourg. Upon arriving in Japan, she got lost, separated from her travel companion. Mitsuyoshi helps her and brings her to his grandfather's coffee shop. So this sounds like a sweet romance series. I hope that there won't be like a, because it already sounds like a love triangle and like misunderstanding and that bullshit. I hope it won't go like too far with that. But if it doesn't, then it might be nice, because this is at least something a little bit different. And it's not just like, oh, they're in the last year of high school and then there's a transfer student, blah, blah, blah. But, so, yeah, we will see. This sounds fine, in my opinion. So I'm gonna watch it. Yeah, I'm gonna check it out at least. Yeah. That's another thing. When I say I'm gonna watch it, take that as gonna check it out. I'm not committing to anything. Yeah, I'm committing to watching one episode, or at least some of one episode at the very least. So I'm committing myself to see this series in motion. How much we'll see, but I will see it in motion. So yeah. Next, Mahou Shoujo's site. Asagiri Aya is a young girl who has fallen victim to bullies at her school. Looking for a way to escape her troubles, she looks to the internet for distraction when a mysterious website called Magical Girls Site appears. Simply viewing the page is all it takes to hurl Aya headlong into the deadly world of the magical girl apocalypse. There, it's fight or die against a seemingly endless array of savagely adorable, frilly sculpted killing machines, each armed with magical powers and an unquenchable thirst for blood and chaos. So, this of course sounds a lot like Madoka Magica and Magical Girl Raising Project, like mixed into one, which I don't think is necessarily a bad thing, unless they try to make it more important than it is. Because this is just like a battle royale, go balls to the walls and just like kill everything in sight. And if they don't make that like fun and like enjoyable, then it's gonna be a problem. But I don't know. I have faith somewhat in this series, because it just sounds so like over the top that it might definitely be nice. I mean, come on, like magical girls fighting against like bloody killer zombie things. You have to chuckle at least at that. So yeah, that's, look. There's no comedy tag, but I personally think that this could be hilarious to watch, and that's another reason to watch like these things. Just like the curiosity, you know, be curious. Like allow yourselves to be curious. Look, this has only 10,000 people because. I really don't know. Maybe it's because I'm so early, but I feel like the season starts in like 2 weeks. When are you gonna decide what to watch? After it starts? I mean, you gotta make up your mind early. Next up, Piano no Mori. This series, yeah, let's read the synopsis first. So, a tranquil tale about two boys from very different upbringings. On one hand, you have Kai, born as the son of a prostitute who's been playing the abandoned piano in the forest near his home ever since he was young. And on the other hand, you have Suihei, I'm not sure, because that doesn't exist, this combination, practically breastfed by the piano as the son of a family of prestigious pianists. Yet it is their common bond with the piano that eventually intertwines their paths in life. So, you have a big problem with this series because, as probably a lot of you already noticed, this could very easily go the route of boring and generic and predictable, with like, oh, one is the prestigious noble boy and the other is the low commoner, but they're friends, but oh, everyone else doesn't want them to be friends, but they will become friends and they will turn the others around. And it could very easily go that way, but I'm always optimistic and hoping for like new and fresh ideas when it comes to exploring these ideas, these like concepts. So I am optimistic that they don't go this predictable route with like, oh, can the noble understand that even if he is born like in a low standard, that he's still human? You know what I'm talking about, like. Noble people and like low commoners, and can they go together? But that's not how society works and every bullshit like that. So I hope it doesn't go that way, because if it doesn't, then this could be a really nice and heartwarming series. So we'll see. Hinamatsuri. One night, a strange object falls on the head of Nita, a member of the Yakuza. Inside the box is a strange young girl named Hina. She has tremendous supernatural powers, and Nita finds himself reluctantly taking her in. Her powers can come in handy for his Yakuza business, but he also runs the risk of her using them on him. Not to mention, if she doesn't use her powers, she will eventually go berserk and destroy everything around her. Nita and Hina's strange life together is just beginning. So this doesn't sound that bad, but it also sounds a lot like, for example, Beatless, which wasn't that great. But I'm not gonna dismiss this just like that. It might be good, it might not, but it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't sound that bad. Um, who knows? That it's like the Yakuza could be funny, maybe in a sort of like love tyrant sort of way, with just like they have to live together even though they don't want to, but they can still be of use to each other. If it goes balls to the wall, then it might be funny. That's why I'm gonna watch it. If it's not a whole lot faith I have in the series, maybe like 30%, but it's still some, so I'm gonna watch it and see how it turns out. Even though I'm not like hyped for it or anything. And I think a lot more people should like adapt this type of choosing series, especially seasonals, because seasonals are so easy to watch. I mean, it's like, even if you like me, for example, this season I'm watching 20 series, and I have no problem with like keeping up if you just watch 2 or 3 episodes a day. It's no problem, really. Like, and if you watch a bit more, then maybe you can squeeze an older series in there too, like how I did. I watched Legend of the Galactic Heroes simultaneously with all of the seasonals, and I had no problem keeping up. So, and I work a full-time job, like 8 hours a day. I'm not home, and I also want like do other things and like house and chores and everything, and I still had no problem like watching 20 seasonals and an old classic. So you can do it even without like sacrificing all of your free time. Um, and especially if it's only in the beginning, like if you only watch one episode of all of these series, you're still not gonna like destroy your private life. It's, first off, it's only for 1 or 2 weeks. That like it's a bit more than the rest, and secondly, even then it's not that much. So yeah, I personally think there's like no excuse for this if you call yourself like a seasonal anime watcher, but still like say there's nothing good coming out and it's only the same thing. So yeah, explore a bit more. Next up, 3D Kanojo Real Girl. Tsutsui Hikari is an otaku and he mostly avoids social life. Hikari has only one friend at school who is also a social misfit and he is mocked brutally by most of his classmates for being creepy and weird. One day, he ends up having to clean the school pool with Igarashi Iroha, who appears to be pretty much everything he hates in real life girls. She skips school, has a blunt manner, doesn't have female friends, and seems the sort to be promiscuous. However, she's friendly to Hikari and even stands up to the people who make fun of him. Hikari's bitterness and trust issues lead him to say pretty harsh things to Iroha, but she never dismisses him as creepy. After a while, it starts to look like Iroha may become his first real-life 3D girlfriend. Will he be able to handle it? So, as you can see, there's no comedy tag on here. And that I actually thought that this might develop into a good drama, but I mean, it doesn't say drama either, but like I said, genre are pretty useless when it comes to determining the worth of a series. Yeah, it could be a really funny comedy, or it could be a really heart-wrenching drama. Or it could just be shit. Who knows? Who knows? That's what I'm gonna say through most of this. So yeah, I'm gonna watch it. I have nothing against this setup. So yeah, let's move on. Caligula. Mobius is a perfect digital world for the imagined benefit of the humanity by Mu, a virtual idol program that attains sentience and self-awareness. Only humans who are suffering in the real world and strongly relate to Mu's song are lured into Mobius. Once they enter, people often forget that the real world exists. Regardless of age or gender, they are turned into students and forced to experience school life over and over, which Mu considers the most radiant time in a person's life. So, this one could be, in my opinion, a really interesting drama and horror, which it isn't tagged as either. Because example, like if you're like forced to relive the same things over and over, and one day you find out about it and are trying like to escape, that could be interesting. Like for example, like a sort of Angel Beats type thing. But yeah, like I said, these synopses are so short, you don't know. You can't know. So yeah, we will have to see how this plays out, and yeah, I'm gonna watch it because it could go either way. So yeah, definitely gonna watch it. Now, Captain Tsubasa 2018 is the remake of the famous soccer anime back in the 70s or 80s. I don't know when exactly it came out originally because I've never watched it. Because I'm not that into soccer. And I still not into soccer, so I'm not gonna watch this one either. But actually I am on the fence about this. The main reason I'm not gonna watch it is, for example, if this were like Inazuma 11, which is like with all of these like special moves and like all of that, I would probably watch it, but this is mostly straightforward soccer as far as I'm concerned. So I'm not gonna like watch it. And I mean, it's a remake of like, it is a remake of a classic, and I mean it's by David Productions, so who knows what they're gonna pull. But yeah, probably not gonna watch this. Like I said, soccer, real life soccer doesn't really interest me. Anime soccer might be a bit more interesting, but all in all, I doubt I will care. If I hear a lot of that's another thing. If I don't watch a series originally, but then I hear a lot of good things about it, then I'm gonna watch it afterwards. That happened with Blend S in my case. Because I wasn't watching this, then I saw all of the memes, and I thought, this might actually be like funny even beyond the memes, and I thought it was. So that can happen as well. Amanchu Advance is the second season. I haven't seen the first season. Skip. Megalobox. So I wasn't gonna watch this one originally because I thought that it had something to do with Ashita no Joe, which I haven't seen yet. But no, it's just made in like as for the anniversary of Ashita no Joe, but it's not related to the series. And I'm down with like a hardcore drama boxing anime. Yeah, sign me up. This one could be really good. We'll see. Now this one, this is one I wanted to get to. Doreiku the animation. What if you could enslave anyone you ever wanted? Well, this comes close. The SCM lets you enslave anyone who is also wearing an SCM at a price. One must win over the other at the cost of anything in order for the other to become their slave. Now, it doesn't say here, but come on, this has to be the best fucking comedy you've ever heard of. I am so excited for this. I have no idea of what it's about, like apart from the synopsis, and like I haven't read the manga. I've never even heard of it, but this one sounds hilarious. And if they don't go like a comedy route with this, then I don't know what they're gonna do, because this sounds like so fucking funny. And I really hope they go the comedy route with this and make this like the king's game of this like series season. Like, this sounds so hilarious, and I'm really looking forward to this. I really hope they don't fuck it up, because this, like I said, it just sounds so fucking funny. So yeah, definitely gonna watch this one, probably for the wrong reasons. I don't care. I really hope this is good. Next up, Kakurio no Yadomeshi. Female college student Aoi inherited her deceased grandfather's ability to see Ayakashi. One day, while Aoi is feeding some Ayakashi, a demon appears. He declares that Aoi's grandfather owed a great debt, and as compensation, Aoi must marry the demon. Aoi refuses and decides to pay off the debt by working. So this reminds me a bit of Konohana Kitan, from the aesthetic here, and like from the character designs also, and like from the style. And it might be fun. It might be heartwarming, or maybe like cute. It doesn't say shoujo, but it seems like it might go into that route a bit. We'll see. But yeah, as long as the shoujo isn't too heavy, I have nothing against this, so I'm definitely going to check this out. Xian Pin Chiating, I'm guessing this is a Chinese series. The series centers on a family where both parents are mad scientists and where both brother and sister are modded humans called creatures. The family members aim to become a normal family. So, again, it doesn't say comedy, but come on, this has to be a fucking comedy series. Unless they make this shit like super hardcore, like sympathetic, because maybe it's the same comedy in the vein of Steins Gate, because that had funny elements as well with like the mad scientist thing, but yeah, we have to see. I'm not dismissing this one. This could be really funny, or it could be heartwarming, or like it could also be like a really like solid drama. We don't know. That's what I mean. The tags don't help. Like, the genres don't tell you anything, and the synopsis doesn't either. That's why I'm watching anything. It's not even done by anyone. It just exists. Great. Next up, Jushinki Pandora. The new series is set in a near future world where the boundary between human and being and AI is vague. A rapid biological evolution similar to Campanian explosion is caused by one incident. This incident turns into the genesis of a new jostle for supremacy, and the influence of the evolution goes beyond biological framework and spreads to various kinds of bacteria and technologies. The era of massive evolution involving diverse existences such as human, machines, and biotechnologies, Jesus, is coming. Characters fight an existential war in such a world. So, it's an original, and those are rare these days, so I'm definitely down for that. But this doesn't sound that bad. It could be like a mix of like war between factions mixed with maybe like something from Kado, like the good parts of Kado. Yeah, if this goes that route. It says mecha, so I am wary, but it doesn't sound like the mecha fights are the focus. It sounds like the existential problems and like the philosophy are the focus in this series, and that's why I'm gonna watch it, even though I don't like mecha and sci-fi that much. And I feel like everyone else should like become a bit more open in that way. If it's obvious from the get-go that this, like a new Gundam, then okay, the battles in the giant robots are gonna be the focus. Then you don't have to watch it if I don't like mecha. But in this case, if it's pretty obvious that it might not be the focus, then give it a try. It might be about something else. Next up, Maho Shoujo Ore. The story is about a 15-year-old girl who is a newbie idol in love with her best friend's brother, who is also a popular idol. but she runs into a scary Yakuza guy and finds out that her mother was an ex-magical girl and the Yakuza guy was her mascot. Her love interest gets kidnapped by demons that look like burly men with cute squirrel heads. So she contracts the Yakuza to become a magical girl, which in this story means she turns into a handsome guy in a magical girl outfit. On top of that, her love interest shows an attraction toward her magical guy form. Her best friend turns out to be in love with her and also becomes a magical cross-dressing guy to save her life. Thus, their manager, who is a magical girl geek, then decides to turn them into an idol unit. If you aren't bursting out laughing reading that, then you have no soul. This sounds fucking funny. I am excited for this series, and look, 6,000. That's because no one is reading this fucking forget it. I mean, this is like parody to the nth degree. This sounds so funny, and I balls to the wall insane. I mean, almost like Nichijou levels insane. I am looking forward to this one. These are like the series I'm looking forward to, like Doreiku and Mao Shoujo Ore. These are the series I am most excited for, and there are a few more to come down the line. So yeah, definitely gonna check this one out. I don't know anything about the We Cross franchise, so I'm not gonna bother now. Comic Girls. The daily life of up-and-coming female mangaka living together in a dormitory. So, this sounds a lot like New Game, but for manga. And I hate New Game because I thought New Game was actually gonna be like something like intelligent about the process of making games, because if you don't know, I'm aiming to be a game designer. So that kind of interests me. But yeah, I will give this a try, but 4 adaptations are like, they're hit and miss for me. Some really knock it out of the park, for example, like with Azumanga Daioh, that one's really great, but others just like don't get anywhere. Like New Game, for example, I thought was just boring and like completely missed what I wanted from it. I'm gonna give this 1 episode and see if it's maybe more than that, but it probably won't be, and then I'm gonna drop it. But I'm still gonna give it the 1 episode because I still have like a 10% chance in me that it might actually be something for me. So, next up. Butlers, Chitose Momotose Monogatari. The anime centers on 2 protagonists. Koma Jinguji, J, is the smart and handsome student council president. His elegant smile captures the hearts of women. Tsubasa Hayakawa is a multi-talented and gentle shop assistant at a cafe. His cafe latte with owl latte art is very popular with female customers. The 2 men travel through time to fight their arch enemy. The charming butlers, as they are called, fight supernatural battles and also experience a slapstick comedic life at their academy. It only says comedy, like I said, genres, you can throw all of them in the garbage, but it sounds funny enough to me, and yeah, it just sounds funny enough that I give it a chance. That's basically it. Next up. If it was the first season, then I would watch it, but it's some spin-off sequel, so nope. Nil Admirari no Tenbin, Teito Genwa Kitan. The Taisho era didn't end in 15 years, but went on for another 25. In order to protect her waning family, a girl resolves to marry a man she doesn't even know the name of. However, just before the marriage was to take place, the girl's younger brother mysteriously committed suicide by self-immolation and was found holding an old book in his hands. Appearing before the bewildered young girl was the Imperial Library Intelligence Asset Management Bureau, more commonly referred to as Fukuro. According to these men, there exist maremono, which are books that greatly affect their reader. On top of that, ever since the incident involving the girl's younger brother, she unwittingly gains the ability to see auras, the sentiments of the maremono, which manifest as bright lights and are usually invisible to humans. It was as though fate were trying to drag the young girl in its flames, and then, even though apprehensive, the girl chooses to venture outside her birdcage. Jealousy, hatred, scorn, compassion, and love. What awaited the girl was the darkness of betrayal that had already begun to bewitchingly inlay the imperial capital. Toyed by and swayed within the darkness, will the young girl finally reach the truth after her struggles, or... Yeah, I think this sounds really interesting, even though it's a pretty long synopsis and apparently a pretty long setup. I personally think that this could still work. If it is done correctly. It says it's based on a visual novel, so we're gonna see. But it doesn't turn me away, and it's definitely intriguing, mostly because it is so convoluted. So, like I said, I will definitely watch this, and we'll see. Who knows? All right, next up, Tachibana-kan Triangle. When Natsuno Hanabi went back to her hometown to study in high school, she thought that she would have a new wonderful life. But Tachibana-kan, the dormitory she was going to live in, was not what she expected. Again, this tells you nothing. The tags say it's ecchi and shoujo-ai, which I'm not against, but this tells me nothing, so of course I have to watch it. See, this is my stance. Many people are like, this doesn't tell me what it's about, so I'm not gonna watch it. I'm the other way around. This tells me nothing, so I have to watch it so that I know what's going on. No? That's my stance. So yes, I'm gonna watch it. Uma Musume Pretty Derby. The only reason I'm not gonna watch this one, for now at least, unless I hear really good things about this, is because it's based on a mobile game. And the only thing that was based on a mobile game that's really good that I have seen so far was Grand Blue Fantasy, and that one has like a really good story. So, yeah, not the biggest fan of like all these game adaptations, but if it turns out to be good, then I'm definitely gonna watch it. If I hear good things about this, but we'll see. Second season of something. I haven't seen the first season, so yeah. Alice or Alice, Sisko Nisan to Futago no Imoto, the title alone makes me want to cringe. The story gives a look at the daily life of a pair of Alice twins and their older brother who has a sister complex. Them eating meals, getting into fights, playing with friends. Would you like to peek at the heartful daily life of the cute Alices? No! Because that sounds really fucking dumb and stupid. We had all of these like Siscon anime recently with like, yeah, all of these like little sister anime, and this one sounds like the next evolution of that. And I would really like to burn all of these evolutions by now, because they're just going further and further, and we're straying away from God every day, a bit further every day. And this one seems like the exact same. If I hear things about this, I will watch it. But as it stands, this sounds like the worst of the worst for me, so I'm not giving it a chance, because this sounds like garbage. Second season of something I don't know. At least I think it's a second season, unless that is just the title. But still, I'm not that into baseball, and this just sounds like straightforward baseball anime, so yeah. I haven't seen the other Lupins, so I'm not gonna watch this one yet, but one day I will. Maybe I'll read it. I'll probably read it. Cutie Honey. So, I don't know what this series is. As far as I know, this is a re-adaptation. If it isn't, if it's a sequel, then I'm gonna stop watching until I've seen the original Cutie Honey. If it's a remake, I have nothing against it. Then I'm gonna watch what the fuss is about with this. And this one I'm actually quite interested in, because I've known about Cutie Honey for a long time. I hope, like I said, that this is not a sequel, but a remake or readaptation or anything. Because then I can enjoy it like from without any like prior knowledge, and that would be really great. So yeah, this one I'm looking forward to. Hisune Tomaso-tan. I have to read this again. Straightforward and innocent Hisune Amakasu is a self-defense force rookie stationed at this air self-defense force Gifu base. She was struggling with the fact that she sometimes hurt people unintentionally by her innocent words, and decided to join the air self-defense force, hoping to maintain a certain distance from people. This decision led her to a fateful encounter which profoundly changed her life. It was the OTF dragon hidden in the base, and it chose Hisune as its pilot. When it soared into the sky with Hisune, her fate as a dragon pilot was decided. It is said that dragons have the key to the future of the world. So, this sounds fun and like imaginative, and the character designs look rather cute. So yeah, I'm definitely giving this a try. And if I may direct your attention to this, 3,000 people, original by Bones. Are you kidding me? How is no one talking about this just based on original and Bones? How is no one talking about this just based on that? An original by Bones. I rest my case. I want to watch Hokuto no Ken before this, and the CGI doesn't look really that great, so no. Gegege no Kitaro, one of the classic old shonen, OG shonen series that I haven't seen yet. This one gets like a readaptation every century, no, not century, every decade. And this will be my first one, so I hope this is a good iteration of the series and I can see what the fuss is about. This is an OG, probably influenced a lot. It's still being talked about, it's still being readapted. I hope this will be good. It's by Toei Animation, so we'll see. But yeah, like I said, it's a classic. It will always be a classic, and this is the new version of that classic. I hope it's a good one. We'll see. Rokuhodo Yotsuri Biori. Four men, Gure, Sui, Tokitaka, and Tsubaki, each help run a Japanese tea shop together called Rokuhodo. When one visits the shop, they are greeted warmly, is served with tea, and are often helped with any problems they may have. This might just be like, what's it called? Relaxing, like a relaxing little series. I think it's not even like 22 minutes. I think it's shorter, and this just sounds like relaxing series after a hard day of work. Just like start this one up and just like relax. So yeah, I'm down to that, and especially if it's not full length, because I think full length would be too much for this. But if it's not, then this might be just perfect. Yep. Uchu Senkan Tiramisu. Sounds great already. The human race extended its life field and grew to the vast reaches of space. In Space Era 0156, a war breaks out amidst all of the colonies in space. Earth begins to construct a new space battleship called Tiramisu in secret. Just as the war begins, one genius pilot steers the Tiramisu as a beacon of hope for humanity. This sounds great. I don't know. Could be really fun. Maybe it isn't. Who knows? It doesn't sound that bad, and only 2,000 people. Like I said, people should branch out more, because this doesn't sound horrible. Like I said, it's just people aren't looking. Yeah, Gundam, like I said, focus on mecha. I don't like mecha, and I don't know anything about Gundam, so no. Amai cho patsu, watashi wa kanshu senyu petto. So I don't, I mean, I can read it to you, but I'm gonna tell you something about this afterwards. The story is set in a prison in the near future. It revolves around Hina Saotome, imprisoned despite her innocence, and the elegant yet sadistic guard Aki Myojin. Hina's heart and body are at the mercy of Myojin's heartless yet sweet domination, from physical examinations to lovers' prison visits. Recently, like the last 3 or 4 seasons, there has always been one hentai adaptation. I don't know why, but there's like one 5-minute hentai adaptation, and this is the one for this season. I don't understand why that is. I mean, they're so similar, like the pictures are so similar, the character designs, the descriptions, and I don't understand. You can tell after you've seen one of them, you have seen all of them, and I don't understand why they keep making these. And they're not classified as hentai. They're just made every season and they're all the same. I don't get it. So no, I'm not gonna watch this. Because they're not even good. Most of them are like censored as hell. And if I want to see some dirty shit, I'm gonna search for some dirty shit. So this one is stupid. Why does it exist? Fuck it. Next one. Fumikiri Jikan. It doesn't say what it's about, so I'm gonna watch it. That's my principle. Binanko Koko Chikyu Boebu Happy Kiss. This is the second season or like spin-off of Cute High Earth Defense Club, which I haven't seen, so I'm not gonna watch a second season. Obviously. Last period, Owarinaki Hirasen no Monogatari. Period is how magic users called who beat Spiral, monsters that were summoned from isolation. Due to the rise of these beings, 14-year-old apprentice period Haru, who is part of the 8th Arc-End Division, is called to break the cycle and cast himself into the endless battle. However, a mysterious thievery occurred and sank the division into bankruptcy, forcing Haru and his other comrades have to leave their headquarters. To rebuild a branch, they have to overcome quest after quest. This doesn't sound bad. Sounds like a cute little fantasy. Maybe it's even really good. Who knows? That's what I mean. Does this sound like something that you would immediately be like, oh, this is garbage. This has to be garbage. I mean, listen to it. No, not after watching one episode. Then you can say, okay, this is garbage. But right now, you only know the bare minimum. That's it. So I'm definitely gonna check this out. Next up, Nobunaga no Shinobi, Anegawa Ishiyama Hen. This is the 3rd season of Nobunaga no Shinobi that no one watches, but I do, and I love it, and I will watch the 3rd season, and I'm so happy that this gets a 3rd season, because I love it. Yeah, watch it, it's great, it's short, it's great, it's funny, it's historical, it's informative, it's just a good series. Watch it. Yeah, next up. Omae wa mada Gunma wo shiranai. Nori Kamitsuki moves from Chiba to Gunma Prefecture as he begins to attend high school. There, he has received a warning from his classmate that no one comes back alive from Gunma, and found more negative information as he looked it up on the net. In the midst of confusion and extreme culture shock, he has gotten himself involved with Gunma's rivals, Tochigi and Ibaraki Prefecture. What? This sounds like a mixture of Italia and like, what the fuck is this? Maybe I understand this wrong, but it's almost sounds like he goes to this like prefecture, but also that the prefectures are people as well. Like he goes to that place, but the place also has like a personification. Maybe I understand it wrong, but that's somehow how it sounds like. I didn't like Italia, if that really is what it means, like that these people here are the personifications of the prefectures. I didn't like Italia that much, but we'll see. This sounds so weird. Like, maybe, like I said, maybe I understood it wrong. We'll see. Gurazeni. This is the story of Natsunosuke Honda, a pro baseball player, a relief pitcher who has been playing pro in a team called Spiders for 8 years. The team operates as a highly stratified society where the player's performance determines his annual salary. Natsunosuke is one of the highest paid players in the game. He measures how good players are by how much money they make, and he intends to be on top and stay there, and as such is always looking for players to challenge and does everything to ensure that he is better than they are. So, the reason I'm watching this baseball anime and not the other one is, again, like with Mecha, because baseball doesn't seem to be the focus here, but rather the interpersonal relationships between like Natsunosuke and the other players. And I think that could be really interesting. It also says drama, which I would have said as well. And yeah, we're gonna see. It doesn't sound bad. Could be a really interesting drama. This is some series. This looks like it's a series from like Precure. If it isn't part of Precure, then I'm gonna watch Precure or Prepara. Then I'm gonna watch it. If it is Prepara, then I'm not, because I wanna see Pretty Cure and Prepara like the originals first. Because I thought this was part of Pretty Cure, but it doesn't seem to be. It says game though, which isn't a good like sign. It's a gacha game adaptation probably. And those are usually pretty terrible, so I don't know. Probably not, but we'll see. Wakao Kamiyo Shogakse. 12-year-old Oriko Seiki, who lost her parents in a car accident and ended up living in her grandmother's onsen ryokan, Harunoya. With the ghost Uribo cohabitating with her and all the other odds, she ends up training to be a young female innkeeper. At first, she doesn't like the training, but gradually felt her admiration for her title and began to train seriously. Thus, the growth of the young warrior Oriko begins. This doesn't sound bad. This sounds cute and fun and sweet. And it's also made by fucking Madhouse. So, yeah, this might actually be pretty good. We'll see. Only 500 people. Like I said, the people don't search. Because this doesn't sound bad. It's just as no one knows about it. Next one. Haven't seen the first season, but I know that this one isn't bad. I will watch the first season one day. It's just like these cats like fucking around, and I think it's fun. I've just not seen it yet. So yeah. Next up, Le Dispo. No synopsis. Bet your ass I'm gonna watch it. With no synopsis, so I'm gonna watch it. That's how I do it. I think this was the one I thought was had something to do with Precure, because Pre is in the title. Yeah, this one I'm pretty sure has something to do with that. Let's read the synopsis. First year middle school girl Mirai Momoyama and Emo Moegi are two aspiring idols who decide to use the pre-chan system, a system used by famous people and companies to broadcast content. Like many girls starting their own channels and uploading content, the pair decide to become their own producers, starting their own channel in an attempt to become pre-chan idols. I don't know, it doesn't sound like it's the worst, but who knows. Maybe, but probably not. But maybe. Duel Masters. Ha! This is weird. Because it doesn't have anything to do with Yu-Gi-Oh! Apparently, it's an original. Maybe it's a parody of Duel Masters? Of like Yu-Gi-Oh? You know what? I'll try it. Why not? We don't know anything about it. Who knows? Usagi no Matthew. The story centers on Matthew, a daydreaming worrywart of a rabbit. Matthew has also two friends, Kiron, a pessimistic frog, who is fond of good luck charms, and Ham, a hamster of few words and who moves through life at his own pace. The story follows the three animals' everyday life within a mysterious forest. This sounds rather dull, in my opinion. Like, not even like relaxing, but just dull. So that's why I'm not gonna like watch it. Especially the same with this one. And also this one is made by Production IG, which probably means that it's on their like app. So yeah. And all those series, it's not that you can't get the app here. You can if you like mess around with like regions a bit. But all the series on that app are just boring and like really cheaply made. So yeah, wouldn't bother. Yeah, and those are all the main series. What else do we have? Haven't seen it yet. Haven't seen yet. And this one I haven't seen the original. I have seen the original series, but I just thought it got boring after a while. So yeah. OVAs like I said, it's just no. But this one maybe, like I said, it doesn't say what it's about, but who knows? I don't talk about movies because we have to get them first. And specials also. But I have the two unknown here, which are Akkun to Kanojo, which like Tsundere boy and his girlfriend. And something similar to Isekai Shokudo, but just with a bar instead of a restaurant. Yeah, who knows? Might be good as well. Like I said, I'm like repeating myself. I sound like a broken record by now. If it's not against anything, then why not? Why not? That's like my motto with this. Why not? So yeah, that's basically it. I hope you could take something from this like little breakthrough of what I'm watching and why I'm watching it. Again, if you'd like to get on here and like talk with me, so that you don't have to listen to me all the time and like can say something back, send me a message somewhere. I'm definitely searching for other people to do this with. And yeah, that's basically it. Bye.